Hello, my name is Rodney. I'm from the pOedGamerQuehegan YouTube channel, and today I wanted to kind of do a video on how I got into collecting, why I collect video games and board games and things like that. And I have a guest with me as my dog here on the floor, so she may make a little bit of noise. But really, I can't really say I started collecting until probably the past 5 or 6 years. And the reason why is because really what I was doing before that is just buying the games I liked. And when I was younger, me and my brother, from the NES, original Nintendo, we had more games than I believe any of our friends or anybody we knew of. I think we had a little over 50, and that was just unheard of. Nobody had more than like 10. And there were certain games that everybody had. I mean, you had like Legend of Zelda, and you had the Mario games, Duck Hunt, but me and my brother, we had other games. We had some of the LJN games. We had some wrestling games and things like that. A lot of stuff that two people could play. Because our parents, when they bought a game, they wanted it to be two players so me and him could play together. So a lot of games we had were two players, even though we mainly played them single player. So me and him, we bought a large number of video games for that. So like every birthday, every Christmas, they get me a game for my birthday. They get him a game for his birthday, and they get us each a game for Christmas. I mean, they got us other toys and things like that, but what we really wanted were video games. And any other money we would get, we'd save up, we'd buy video games. So my entire life, I've always been into video games. There's my dog. She isn't happy that I'm not paying attention to her right now. But me and my brother, we always played them. We really didn't have a game store at that time. We had a Kmart, and I think we had a Magic Mart at that time. And that's really we didn't have a Walmart or anything like that. We just had those two stores. I'm not sure if we had a Sears, because I'm from a very small town where I grew up, and there was no GameStop or EB Games or Babbage's or whatever video game store you want to talk about. They just weren't there. We only got a GameStop maybe let's say 5 or 6 years. Well, actually probably 3 years ago in my hometown. They got their first GameStop. But so we never had a place to trade in games. So I've kept every single game I've ever owned. And since we come from a small town, we were able to travel to other places around that town. And I think anytime we would go to Tennessee or other places in Kentucky, we would because they have these used game stores, EB Games and places like that. And we were blown away because the games were so cheap. Well, we were so young. We were younger. We didn't realize, oh, they're used. But we would buy a lot of games when we go places like that. So that I really can't say I was collecting at that time, because it was just I was playing the games I wanted to play. And then we got older, to the mid-90s. You had all of the consoles that came out and fell, the CDI, 3DO, and Saturn, all of those consoles. So at that time, I was at the age then that as a teenager, they didn't know what to buy me. So everybody just gave me money. So they give me money, and I would buy video games. I bought the CDI after it went under. So I paid maybe $100 for it, if that. And I got a stack of games for the CDI. And then I got 3DO. I think I got it right before it went under, so I think I paid a little bit more I didn't pay the huge price tag for it. I think I paid maybe $150 or $200 for it. My brother got one when Walmart bought the overstock for it. And I think he paid $75 for his. And he got the original FZ one. I got the FZ10, the top loader with the hinge on it. And we both bought a bunch of games for it. Same thing with Sega Saturn. When they stopped making it, the overstock, people started selling it really cheap. We bought those. So me and my brother were kind of lucky that we were at the age to where we were really into video games when all these systems went under. And oddly enough, that is my favorite time in video gaming because there was all these games that were so cheap. Now, not all of them were good games. A lot of them were subpar, is a polite way of saying it. You had, a lot like the CDI. They wanted to be everything, and in the end, it didn't really feel any niche. But the 3DO has some awesome games on it. It has the best version of Road Rash on it, in my opinion. Has a really good Need for Speed game on it. Braid Dead 13, and a lot of other games that have been since then have been ported to other systems. But a lot of them, they were originally on the 3DO. Same thing, Sega Saturn has some awesome games. The Sega CD, when it went under, my brother, he bought the Sega CD. I didn't buy one at that time, which I wish I did, because anytime I wanted to play, I had to go into my brother's room. And I had to play it in there. So all of these systems at that time, the prices fell, and me and him just bought a bunch of games that we really couldn't afford if these systems had succeeded. So that drastically increased my video game collection. But at that time, I still really wasn't collecting video games. I was just buying what I wanted to play. And also, like, where I always got gaming magazines, I always saw these consoles in the articles. Like, oh man, I'd really love to have that. And when the opportunity came toward, I can get it. I can buy the CDI or this 3DO. I can buy the $700 gaming system. It was awesome. I just couldn't believe that they were that cheap. And nobody around, like, even though in my community, and at a Magic Mart, they sold the CDI, and it was really cheap. And they only had like one or two of each game, and I bought most of them. I didn't buy Hotel Mario. I wish I'd have bought that, because I actually bought I think it was one of the Gamelon or Faces of Evil. I can't remember which one I bought, because I have both of them now. But yeah, and I was like, okay, I bought one of the Zelda games, and I bought these other games. I was like, okay, I'll come back and get Hotel Mario next week after I get my allowance. I go back, it's gone. I was very sad about that. And I was really looking, but nobody around me, even though they were sold in this community, nobody around me ever like, I've never seen one. I'm like, well, you can buy it right now. But the thing was, the systems sold very quickly. They must not have had many of them, because I had the Magnavox, the small one that has the door that comes up on it. I don't have the digital video cartridge for it. I wish I did, but still yet wasn't collecting at that time, because I was just buying the games I wanted to play. So really, then PS2 or PS1 comes out, and I'm buying the games I want to play. Same thing, you got the Dreamcast and the PS2, Xbox. All these game consoles start coming out, but can't really say I was a collector at that time, because yes, I had a very large video game collection, but I really wasn't collecting them. I just never wanted to trade anything in, because as I got older, I realized I wanted to go back and play these older games. I'd still play the NES and SNES and my Sega Genesis. So I was like, well, in a few years, I may still want to play my PlayStation games. So why would I trade them into GameStop? Even though that's when I moved, because at that around the time when I got the Dreamcast, I started going to college, and I moved to the bigger city, and there's like 2 or 3 GameStops, EB Games, Babbage's, and Funko Land, like just a bunch of game stores. So yeah, I kept buying video games that time. I bought a PS2, Xbox, Dreamcast, GameCube when they come out. I mean, like, I'm not sure if it's day one I bought all of them, but I bought most of them within the first week of them coming out. I remember the Xbox was kind of a hard one to get. I went to Best Buy trying to get one, and they didn't have any, so I was like, crap. And then like a week or two, this is like right before Christmas, so it's really hard to get one. A week or two later, I was in Best Buy, and the guy was coming out with a cart of them, and he was putting them on the shelf, and I just saw, and I walked around, I picked one up. I was carrying the store, I was like, should I get it? Should I get it? Should I get it? And people saw me have it, saw that I had it in my hand. They were running to the back to get one because they realized that, oh, they got some in. And I mean, I'm pretty sure all of them sold out because people were like, are you getting that? Are you getting it? Kept asking me if I was getting it. And I think that's really the only reason why I got it that day, was because so many people were like, are you getting it? Are you getting it? And if I ever said no, they're probably taking it and just got it that time. Let's see. But yeah, I really enjoyed playing those systems. I really enjoyed my Xbox, all of them. But still can't really say I was a collector. So then got out of college, and then more disposable income because you're out of college, you're now making money. And as you can see behind me, it's got my DVD shelf. I started buying things like that. Can't really say I was a collector then, because I was just still, I'd see a game I wanted, I'd just buy it and play it. And then I got around probably 28, 29, 30 years old, and I started seeing the games that I have, the value just start skyrocketing. And I was like, wow. And it kind of made me think, well, maybe, and I started looking and like, okay, I really do have a collection of it. I mean, I have a fairly large collection of things. And like I'd want to collect certain series, like Resident Evil. I'm a big fan of that. Silent Hill, I'm a big fan of that. So I collect the series of things, but I would never say I was actually a video game collector. But now when I go out, I'm looking for deals or things like, I'm like, wow, like I know prices for video games. When I go into a store, I'm like, okay, well, this game here is a little bit cheaper than what it sells. And I'm like, why? I mean, and when I started doing that, I realized that's when I was a collector. When I was going into the store and I could be like, oh, this game's way too expensive, or oh, this game's under being sold really cheaply. Like going to yard sales and looking around, going, oh wow, here's a Nintendo DS for $8. Cool, I'm gonna get that. Even though I have 3 already. Like I have 4 Game Gears, and because I found them at Goodwill, and they were just really cheap. So that's the reason why I consider myself a collector now, and not really in the past. And what I'm doing now is I'm not really trying to do a complete collection of anything. I don't want to get every NES game or SNES game ever made. Because it's kind of hard to even say I've got a complete collection, because there's no official list. It's like, okay, do you consider the Bible games part of if you don't have those, do you have an official collection? Do you have a complete collection? They're not official games, but they are games for the NES. And there's so many people that say, oh, well, I have a boxed collection, or I have unboxed and sealed. And when you start getting into all that, that is too much for me. I kind of collect the games I like or think I would like to play, and like the games from my past. I'm like, oh wow, I really remember that game. I wish I had it. And like so that I'm not really a super hardcore collector. I don't really go out really early in the morning. Like when it's time for yard sale season, I don't get up at 6 a.m. and go around to yard sales. sleep in. I mean, if I get up at 8 a.m. to go to yard sales, that's early for me. I really just go around to the like pawn shops, Goodwill, places like that, and see what they have. It's fun for me. I like doing it. I like actually the challenge of finding something in the wild. I've actually had people tell me that, wouldn't it be cheaper for you just to buy them off eBay because you're not paying for gas and time and all this other stuff? And I'm like, probably. I mean, it probably would. But I like doing it. It's just something, it's a hobby of mine, I could say. It's something I like going out in the rush, like, oh, there it is. There's this game, or here's this. I like experiencing that. And that's kind of like one of those things, I guess that's what you call the rush of collecting or whatever. I mean, it's like, I think it was Jay Leno. He said that the best feeling it is when he goes to a garage and he opens it. It's the first time it's been opened in 50 years, and you see this classic car inside of it. And it's kind of the way it is when you're not going to open a garage and see a old video game that's 50 years old, but I like going in and it's like, oh wow, they have this, they have that. Oh look, they have a really old game for this, or they have a really old game for that. And that's really what I like. So, yeah. But now that I'm older, that's the reason why I really do collect video games. It's going around finding things that I would have liked to play in the past, never had the opportunity to, and now I do. I have the opportunity to actually go out, find something that I remember from my childhood that really gave me a lot of joy, that gave me just the thrill of playing it. And now I have a son, and me and him, I want to pass that on to him. The enjoyment that I had, and being able to, this is something I can share with him. Because me and my brother, we grew up together, we were very close, and that's something we shared together. And we still play video games together now today. He lives halfway across the country, but we still play video games now. With the Xbox Live and PlayStation Plus and just different things. It's my handheld here, my PlayStation Vita. We can play Sonic Transformed, because he has one, I have one. We can both play it against each other, and no matter where we're at. I can be sitting here, turn this on, say, hey, turn yours on, let's play. And he has a son that's bringing them together, helping them, something they can share together. It's something that can help. It can be something that it can kind of push people apart, because you can spend your entire time playing one video game. There's a lot of things, people getting obsessed with EverQuest or World of Warcraft, and it really kind of sucking you in and you ignoring everything else. And I played World of Warcraft, and I can understand how it can pull you in really hard. But it's something you have to practice self-control. You can't let this consume you. Because like anything that you collect, any type of hobby you have, it can take over, kind of take over your life and really hurt other aspects of your life. So that's something I've never really had much of an issue with, because I've always been really outdoorsy. I love going camping and hiking and things like that. But if you sit down and you only play video games all the time, or if I did, it would hurt my life in other aspects. So I try to make sure I spend time with my family, I get out, I do things for myself, because you think, oh, I'm sitting here playing video games, or you're not really doing things for yourself. You really have to, take care of yourself. It's kind of got a little bit off topic there. It's kind of a little bit of a rant. But yeah, collecting video games, it's something that I really like. I want to pass them on to my son. I'm hoping he'll like them, because it's something I want to share with him. But knowing my luck, he'll probably end up like, I don't like video games. I want to go outside and play basketball, which I do want him to. I do want him to go outside. That's one of those things is that me and my brother, we didn't really have limits put on how long we could play. Basically, our limit was when our dad got home, wanted to watch TV. Well, can't play video games now. Okay, so let's go play. So that was how we kind of limited ourselves. There was no rule like, oh, you had to stop playing video games this time. It's like, okay, when Dad's using the TV, you can't. That's probably how a lot of people were at that time, because like we didn't have a TV in our room when I was growing up. I mean, I don't think I had a TV in my room until probably high school. So that's how long it took before I had my own TV, and then I could play video games whenever I wanted. But still, yeah, I still wanted to go outside and play basketball, and play with my friends and things like that, because there was no online at that time. You couldn't just log on and say, hey dude, let's play whatever. It's like you called your friends up and like, hey dude, you want to come over, and the person was sitting right beside you as you were playing. And after a while you're playing, and also the game collection most people had wasn't large enough to say, okay, let's stop playing this and play something else, then keep jumping around. There was no demos. Like you can't, like now you can go to Xbox Live and download all types of demos. If I could done that when I was younger, I wouldn't have half the games I have now. I never bought a lot of those LJN titles. But yeah, I mean, again, I'm getting sidetracked. Sorry about that. But video game collecting, I really enjoy it. Like I said a few times, I hope you enjoyed it, and until next time.